Welcome back, my friends, to my last brain cell. Um, I hope you feel me that the first full week of August, I guess technically, yeah, by now, by the time this comes out, you would be done with the first full week of August and you would be like in the midst of your second week. So I hope the month of August is treating you good so far. Nothing much changed on my end, you feel me? So I'm still trying to put this puzzle together. It's a very tedious task, as you can tell, as you can see. 500 pieces is no joke, y'all. I split it up in these two boxes to kind of help, in hopes, I should say, of helping me identify things a little bit easier. I don't know how successful I'm really going to be, but, I'm going to try anything I can. Anyway, that's enough complaining out of me. Let's get into the question of the... Let's go. The question of the day. And today's question of the day. So I know I told you guys about my gaming woes, right? And I was thinking about what games I actually actively have like access to right now. And I did recently buy Mortal Kombat, like the newest one. And Mortal Kombat is one of my personal favorite fighting games of like all time. Between Mortal Kombat and Tekken, I've always enjoyed Mortal Kombat. But my question to you all is, when it comes to fighting games, do you try to get good with every fighter or at least learn all their like skill sets? Or do you just pick like your favorites, right? Even for example, Marvel Rivals, even though like I said, I hate the game right now, Marvel Rivals has a bunch of characters that you have access to, right? And they're still releasing some now. I mean, heck, I think Blade comes out, or by the time you're watching this, he would have come out, but like the day I'm recording this, he comes out in a couple of days. You feel me? So we'll have access to a brand new character soon, with them planning on with them planning on I'm trying to figure out. I feel like I already messed sentence up. With them having plans to continue to expand the roster. That's a better sentence. So yeah, I say that to say, like, do you try to get good with every character, or do you just like find a couple that you're like, oh, okay, I like Marvel Rivals. I think is a little bit harder to quantify compared to a regular fighting game, because Marvel Rivals has different skill sets, if you would, between the classes, as far as tanks, DPS, and healers. So like you probably in theory want to get good with at least one character in each of those respective areas, right? But as far as something like Mortal Kombat and Tekken, do you have to get good with everybody? Hell, even something like Smash Bros on the Switch. Like, do you like? I find a couple of characters that I'm really nice with. Like, I kind of like Mario sometimes. Link is my favorite character. I like Pit. It's like swordsman on Smash is my go-to. Besides, Lil Mac. Other than that, I don't really mess with anybody else in that game. So, I don't feel a need to. Like, what point is there for me to even attempt to get good with anybody else? There really realistically is no point. You know what I mean? So yeah, I am curious though to know, like, when you guys play these games, are there things, or do you, I should say, decide to use every character available to you, or do you just get comfortable with the characters that you're comfortable with and go from there? Well, now this has to come out the box. Maybe not. There we go. Put in the comments below, like I've been telling you though, while I go ahead. Wait a minute. I feel like there might be two of those then. The plot thickens. I'm going to go ahead and get Cards Against Humanity. I just spent, I don't know how much time, just mindlessly, I guess, picking through the box, trying to put some pieces together. And I found more stuff, but this is going to be quite the task. I was also thinking about while I was doing that is, does Age of Ultron, the Avengers movie, get way more hate than it deserves? Put in the comments. That's a question of a day for another time. We'll talk about Marvel movies another time. Just once, I'd like to hear you say, thanks, Mom. Thanks for blank. Just once, I'd like to hear you say, thanks, Mom. Thanks for blank. Imagine if the answer I pull is nothing. How hilarious would that be? If one of these answers I pull is nothing, that's going to be the answer. Because I think that'd just be absolutely hysterical. You know, we're going to go with this very first one right here. I just feel pretty good about it. Just once, I'd like to hear you say, thanks, Mom. Thanks for a fart so powerful that it wakes the giants from their 1,000-year slumber. Just once, I'd like to hear you say, thanks, Mom. Thanks for J.D. Power and his associates. Just once, I'd like to hear you say, thanks, Mom. Thanks for vigorous jazz hands. I feel like this is a mother who's talking from a very vain place. So I don't think she would want you to be thanking another person, which means J.D. Power and his associates, out of the question. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for vigorous jazz hands. I feel like that's not something that you're going to pass down to your child. But speaking of passing, I do think that this is something that, a fart so powerful that it wakes the giants from their 1,000-year slumber. And now I imagine that you have to use this fart only in a situation where you need to awaken said giants. Like you're in a fight for your life and you're losing this battle, and you know that you can summon giants with this powerful toxic gas from your bottom. Honestly, if I was that mom, I want you to thank me for that too. So we're going to go ahead and say, just once, I'd like to hear you say, thanks, Mom. Thanks for a fart so powerful that it wakes the giants from their 1,000-year slumber. But let me know what you guys would have picked. Would it have been J.D. Power and his associates, vigorous jazz hands, or a fart so powerful that it wakes the giants from their 1,000-year slumber? Put in the comments, you know the vibes. I'm going to go ahead and get the Wheel of Fun. Okay, Wheel, let's see what's going on today. TV? Honestly, I haven't been watching much TV. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the last non-anime show that I watched. It would have been The Pit, and I think we already talked about that. That was a good show. I haven't really been watching TV. I've been watching a lot of YouTube recently, especially with me doing clandestine cuisines. I've been just trying to figure out like what some of the favorite like food people are doing. Like, are they shooting things a certain way? Are they using certain verbiage? Like, just trying to figure out some of the key words that might catch people's attention and some of the key things. I think obviously one of the biggest things that they've obviously built a following already, right? Like they have people who look forward to their stuff coming out. But then I think on top of that, they've established that they're people. Like they feel relatable. And I think that's also helpful. They're also doing the fad foods as well. Fast foods at that. So like I've been watching a lot of Dame Drops, a lot of King Schwartz or Schwartz. I probably said his name super wrong. But they both do the fast food things. For example, they had the show Wednesday just came out, and Wendy's is doing a Wednesday Wendy's collab on food. Not doing anything very different except for like some kind of special sauce for the Frosties and like special dipping sauces, right? With some Wednesday style branding, and they both did the same video. They talked about it in two very different ways. One I think went into a little bit more detail than the other. But that didn't make a difference because they both have their own following. But then, they also do, like I said, all the fast foods that comes out. So the King Schwartz also does a bunch of crumble videos, and his people want to see him try these cookies out because they want to see if he likes them eventually. So like they have different niches. I don't have that yet, obviously, because my niche is just Buffalo food. And what I've realized is that food in Buffalo does not have a big online following. Unless it's like pizza, which I guess Buffalo is known for, or probably wings. But yeah, I'm trying to just really spread the word as far as food goes. So yeah, man, all I ask is y'all keep tapping into the clandestine cuisine episodes. You won't have another one for the rest of this month, unfortunately. Like I said, it's only coming once a month, so you got one already. So you have to bear with me and just my beautiful face, no food, for the remaining Saturdays of this month. But I do have something planned for y'all, really, really cool. Just Just bear with me, you dig? And honestly, with all that being said, it's getting kind of hot anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thanks for tuning in and stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please, please, please. Tell your peoples that I'm out here doing what I got to do. Until next time, though, y'all. This is King Echo, signing off. Damn, I'm really sweaty.